Hello and welcome to my section of the presentation, which goes over the basic facts of HIV and what exactly is a retrovirus. You may be wondering, well, what exactly is HIV? HIV isn't actually a normal virus though, even though it is considered a viral infection and is considered incurable even to this day after many years of research and treatment. And if it is not treated in a timely manner, it can develop into AIDS, which we all know is a much more dangerous viral infection. Though yes, it is a virus, it actually falls into a secondary set of viruses called retroviruses. Now that I say that, you may be wondering, well, what is a retrovirus? Retroviruses are actually a secondary set of viruses that carry RNA rather than the DNA that most viruses carry. And in order to replicate, they have to use the retrovirus genome in their viral RNA to make the DNA. And what this process is known as is reverse transcription. And some fun fact about retroviruses, they carry their own special enzyme for this process, which is called reverse transcriptase. And what it does is pretty much, well, you'll see here in a minute. Now, there's actually two other viruses that can infect humans that are considered retroviruses. They are actually two types of the same virus. They're called T lymphotropic types 1 and 2. And actually, quite like HIV, these two retroviruses are mainly spread via sexual contact or exposure to infected blood. And what exactly goes with the infection of a retrovirus or /HIV? Once it's actually entered our system, it will search for a host cell to infect. And once it finds a cell to infect, it will release its viral RNA genome into the cytoplasm of the host cell. And if it's HIV, it's more likely a blood cell. Each strand of viral RNA uses the reverse transcriptase enzyme to create a single-stranded section of DNA. And over time, the viral RNA will degrade, and the reverse transcriptase enzyme will return to synthesize this single-stranded DNA to make your normal double helix DNA. And once this DNA is synthesized, it will enter the host cell's genome and nucleus, and insert itself into the DNA using another viral enzyme called integrase. This section of it's like a protease with what this section of a DNA is called, and viral DNA and host DNA. This process is actually known to be irreversible and is what makes retroviruses so dangerous. And here's a quick video example of what a retrovirus infection is.
When a retrovirus infects a host cell, the viral RNA genome is released into the cytoplasm where the viral enzyme, reverse transcriptase, copies the viral RNA into single-stranded DNA. The viral RNA degrades, and reverse transcriptase synthesizes the complementary second DNA strand. The double-stranded viral DNA enters the nucleus where it integrates into the host cell's DNA genome using the viral enzyme integrase.
And I apologize, it's actually called a provirus, not protease. I don't know what I was thinking.
The integrated viral DNA is called a provirus.
Alright, now we move on. And with that, you may be wondering, how does a retrovirus or HIV replicate? Well, with replication and reproduction, once it is infected and the viral DNA is integrated with the DNA of the host cell, the reproduction of more viruses can occur. The virus takes over the machinery of the host cell to synthesize and create its own proteins. And what I'm basically saying is, when the cell activates its reproduction, instead of reproducing normal cells, it reproduces viruses. That's kind of the point of a virus. That's how it affects more cells. And along with creating proteins, it will synthesize and create its own proteins. And along with its creating proteins, it will now transcribe. It won't no longer reverse transcribe. It will actually normally transcribe new DNA normally to create the new viral DNA, which is used to create the new virus copies. These copies actually bud off the cell until they are matured and then leave to go infect other cells. And when they first bud off the host cell, they are not quite mature, so they mature a little bit for going to find more cells to infect. And here's a quick video of showing the reproduction of HIV.
Of HIV. Activation of the cell induces transcription of proviral DNA into messenger RNA. The viral messenger RNA migrates into the cytoplasm, where building blocks for a new virus are synthesized. Some of them have to be processed by the viral protease. Protease cleaves longer proteins into smaller core proteins. This step is crucial to create an infectious virus. Two viral RNA strands and the replication enzymes then come together and core proteins assemble around them, forming the capsid. This immature viral particle leaves the cell, acquiring a new envelope of host and viral proteins. The virus matures and becomes ready to infect other cells.
And what you saw there was pretty much what I explained, is that it will activate the cell, and instead of transcribing and making new RNA to make new human cells, it will actually make a virus cell, and a virus will make its own proteins and all that, and it'll end up budding off the host cell into as another viral cell, which will go and infect more cells, which is kind of how HIV goes into AIDS, is when enough of those new viral cells affect enough body cells. And you may be thinking then, if it's so dangerous, how does one prevent / cure? And to put it plainly, there really is no cure for HIV or any human infecting retrovirus, but rather there's a couple simple steps of prevention that one can follow. Well, obviously you may know this already, but avoid sexual acts with anyone until both you and your partner are tested negative for any STD and not just HIV. But I'm saying this though because HIV/AIDS is highly spread due to sexual contact. Also, avoid sharing needles if you do any drugs. I doubt I have to worry about anyone here doing that, but it's just pro tip, and that's just what everybody knows. But if you do ever find yourself infected with HIV, don't worry too much, as medication has evolved over the many years to slow down the process of HIV, so you're less likely to get AIDS in a timely manner. But all HIV treatment programs are extremely expensive, and it's best to take all precautions possible to avoid infection in the first place, as it's a very dangerous virus, and it can really will shorten your lifespan. And that's kind of the end of my section, and thank you for watching and paying attention.